I'm sorry, sir. I wanted to say it's looking like a military.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ibitayo Edufunke. I'm a trained alchemist turned HSCQ professional. Presently, I work with Transport Services Limited, Ikoyi, and the group head of Health, Safety, Security, Environment, and Quality. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Wally Dubayo is the name.
Sorry, sir. You know, the voices of the lobbies are not usually loud. So we didn't hear you very well, sir. Sorry, sir. Did you hear him very well? They did it, sir. So I was sure they did it.
Wally Dubayo is the name.
Oga has been taking Cadbury tea for a long time.
I'm Olusegun Ajibewa. I'm the managing partner, Maiden Consulting Services Limited. I'm a federal institute. Thank you.
I work with Lagos State Government. I'm a deputy director.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shamsuddin Aminu, Head of Finance, Rosebud Energy Solution Nigeria Limited. I am an associate member.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Alado. I work with Resource International Limited. Human Resources Administrator.
Thank you. Good morning. So you may wonder why I don't want to introduce these our guys. Don't worry, their introduction is coming shortly. So that's why I'm excusing. Don't worry, their introduction is coming shortly. So that's why I'm excusing them a bit. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So it's safe to say that the governor of Lagos State is here. The governor of Lagos State is here with a number of representatives from. Is that a matter of time? I was going to ask. So
the guy is down now. Let me come upstairs now. The guy in charge of the projector, the IT.
Let me ask him, can we share screen?
If you work so that you can pay somebody, okay, don't you work for the person? Okay. So when am I getting my letter of employment? The enabling environment. And I'm also a trainer, so I'm coming to come and collect my letter. Good morning. Okay, so are we set?
Not yet.
No, I'm delaying that a bit. You have it? Okay, no, if you have it, we can start. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm aware there are some people who are connected online. We recognize your presence. We're not oblivious of your presence. So I'm hoping that there's a way you can be a part of this. Maybe drop feedback on any of those platforms from which you're connected. If there are questions as we go along the line, you can also drop your comments or questions in the chat box of the platforms that you're watching from. So we're definitely aware that you're there, and if there's any information we need to pass across, we'll definitely make sure to carry you along. It's now time to officially commence this ceremony. I want to believe, first of all, let me say that in this kind of event, one major thing you're here to do is to network. You do understand that relationship is more valuable than money capital. So it's not a British environment where you just come and just mind your business. I hope there are no Britons in the house. And if there are, apologies. So, interact, because you just never can tell who is sitting next to you. And let me tell you a quick experience just before we kickstart officially. So I used to know a young lady some years back. I was doing some trainings, and this person would ask me, oh, because of the people that you lead, can I come and train your people? And we did quite a number of things. We made some attempts, although they didn't work out eventually, but I'm glad for one thing, that I treated her very well. And most of them are done. Nigerians are very funny. Like the one we just played now, we're playing it on YouTube. Now, the problem is, just imagine that you're playing your anthem on YouTube, and you know YouTube always advertises the video of what they're playing. So you play your anthem to one point, you say, we'll now take a commercial break, and all of a sudden, there's one organization that has just entered Nigeria and disturbing everybody. It's called Think. It's like they just woke up and discovered there's a country called Nigeria. Any small Table. So the second thing I was about to do, I'm not yet a billionaire yet. Wait, let me find that thing first. Wait, don't laugh at me. So anybody that can sing this national anthem, this new one, not the old one, please signify. You can sing it from start to finish. I'm excusing anybody who is not a millennial or a Gen Z. Millennials and Gen Z, or anybody born after, say, from 1980 upwards. Yeah. I'm not anymore, so it's not in the yeah, 1980 upwards. Something small for us. Just something small. You know, like people that want to know it. That's the anthem. That can be reported to. So if you ask you to sing it and I give you the microphone and you sing it out, just say put love. I'm sorry, man. That's not why I'm not giving you. Anybody 1980 upwards can give those ones.
But don't forget this thing. So this is where you will call leadership. So you're going to call this first, following this. Yeah. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Can we take this sound down? Is it from this end? Let's find a way to just reduce it a bit. It's not totally bad, but just reduce it a bit. Okay, so now I want to introduce members of the high table, and as I bring them forward, please let's give them a wonderful round of applause as we wait to welcome them. To the first person I'll be introducing is the president and chairman. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Olasunkabi Aziz, FILCS. Next to me, I'd like to invite the Vice President, Dr. Jonathan FILCS. The next person is the representative from my patients at the FILCS. And finally, Dr. Samuel FILCS, and National Treasurer. All right, with our guests here already, I will introduce the other ones as they come in. But for now, we want to move on quickly with the. Okay. I've just been told the chairman is here. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Mr. Akinolu Iroku, the chairman, Standard Alliance Insurance Policy. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll move on quickly now, and the next person I would want to invite for the reading of the Institute's Code of Leadership Conduct. Of course, a leadership institute must have a code of conduct, and more importantly, to demonstrate leadership. And to do that is no other person than Barrister Ifeoma Adeniyi, FILCS. I must not leave that out.
Thank you very much, MC, can we please give him a round of applause? Thank you, sir. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I could start with the protocol. Mr. Chairman of Council, Dr. Olasunkabi Morufu Aziz, FILCS. And I want to also appreciate the presence of our chairman for today's occasion, Mr. Iroko, FNIM, FCIOD. Welcome, sir. Our Vice President of our Global Institute, Dr. Odukoya. Our National Treasurer, Reverend Dr. Shembore. Our leaders in the House, I welcome everyone to today's Maiden induction of our institute, the Institute of Leadership, Coaching and Strategy. My job here is very simple, and is to take the code of conduct, and for us to do so, may I please ask that we all be upstanding. Please, you say after me, as I say, you repeat after me. And where I say I, it's your own name. If you are a member, if you are not a member, you're just a guest, please kindly listen to us. And at the end of it, you say with us that may God help us. That I, Ifeoma Adeniyi, as a professional member of the Institute, do solemnly commit myself to noble service of my community of practice above myself, and will always seek to exploit and deploy more prudent means to lead, develop, and support others in all my areas of influence with fairness and equity in all ramifications. That I, as a true leader, agree to serve in utmost good faith, a sense of duty, an abiding spirit in all my decisions, with self-sacrificing commitment at all times. I affirm to carry out my daily responsibilities without fear of favor, devoid of corruption and all fraudulent practices. I will uphold the principles of equity, integrity, and transparency in the course of carrying out my obligations. I will preserve, protect, and defend ability
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much.
Show clearly what leadership is supposed to be. We will be able to say clearly that leadership means integrity. We will be able to say clearly that by all definition worldwide, leadership means inspiration. We will be able to say clearly that leadership means humility and leadership means empathy. If we remove these from leadership, then it is no more leadership. If you remove integrity, inspiration, and of course we remove humility and empathy from it, you have nothing but the very opposite of what we need. So we need to tell anyone that cares to listen that titles does not make a leader. You could be anything by title, but that does not make you a leader. But what makes a leader is your action. What makes a leader is your attitude. What makes a leader is your behavior. What makes a leader is actually the example that you show. If you tell us that we should be honest, we want to see honesty in you too. If you tell us that we should be punctual, we want to see punctuality in you and not excuses. If you tell us that we should be able to show integrity at all forms, we want to see it spelled out in your own day-to-day activity. And I know very clearly that with this group that we have today, this noble Institute of Leadership Coaching and Strategy, the story of this nation, Nigeria, and even beyond in Africa will change. Because you will find out, if you go through across the entire African nations, you will see that the story is almost the same. It's almost the same. But I know clearly that in our own generation, with what we are seeing now, we are seeing a change, and the real change, not lip service change, but the real change coming forth. Leadership cannot thrive without dealing with the culture of impunity. I repeat, it cannot thrive without dealing with the culture of impunity. And we have a lot of that around us. And when you look at it, it does not stop right in the forward of the room, even outside there. The red light says,
go back and make amends. So let me start from the last thing that he said. Somebody, running the lights just because of their number plates. As soon as I got here this morning, I stepped out for a bit and parked. I wanted to cross the road. So believing and erroneously imagining that I'm not in Nigeria, I now stood on the zebra crossing line. Everyone was just looking at me like, oh, we're in Nigeria, though. You're in Nigeria. But this, and I kept looking at I'm standing right on this car. Nothing is there. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful opening remark, Sam. I went to check. I'm wondering, twice this morning alone, in quick succession, I have omitted inviting him. And I was wondering, my apologies. I now realize that we have at least two things in common. First, we both studied mass communication. And then I realized that he's also an author. That's probably the most handsome young 60-year-old I've seen. He turned 60 earlier this year.